the Assistant District Executive for Construction at PennDOT District 6 office. Today is a great day to be standing here in Pennypack Park, looking out over this historic 321-year-old Frankford Avenue bridge. PennDOT is pleased that all of you can take time out of your day to come and celebrate with us here. In a few moments, we'll be hearing from Secretary of Transportation Leslie Richards, as well as State Senator John Sabatino, State Representative Mike Driscoll, State Representative Ed Nilsson, City Councilman Bobby Heenan, and Philadelphia Streets Commissioner Carlton Williams. District 6 bridge engineer Henry Berman had a vision for this bridge and a scope for this project. And the combined efforts of all those involved have brought us here today to celebrate this event. Throughout each phase of the project, the department was careful to preserve the historic attributes and the architectural characteristics of this bridge. But we also made some modern day improvements. The utilities were moved to the center of the bridge to make maintenance and repair more accessible and easier. We added safety and crash worthiness to the bridge. It's safer now. And we also removed the 20-ton weight restriction. These structural improvements will extend the life of this bridge well into the future for the 15,000 daily cars and the SEPTA's trackless trolley. They will be now able to use this bridge with safety and ease. The department would like to thank the elected officials here today and those who were unable to help or to attend for their dedication and support of this project and their tremendous amount of public outreach. Before proceeding, I'd like to acknowledge a few officials. Habenzio Gonzalez from Lieutenant Governor's Mike Stack's office is here representing Lieutenant Governor Mike Stack. Bill Kenny from State Senator Tina Taglione is also with us. George Perez from Congressman Bob Brady's office. Congressman Brendan Boyle and State Representative Kevin Boyle were not able to make it today. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Secretary of Transportation Leslie Richards.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's one of my favorite things when we can reopen a bridge that is part of our transportation network. When we can do so while completely respecting and being true to the historic importance and cultural resource of a bridge, it makes it even more special. When we can do it and we've been part of a community working together, understanding what this asset means and how it truly is an asset to those who work and live in the area, that's even better. When I get to do it and see some old friends that I've worked together with throughout my entire career and meet some new contractors and designers who are doing wonderful work for the agency, even better. And when I get to do it with the chairman of our Transportation Senate Committee, many of our state reps, council members who have been so supportive to Governor Wolf and myself on transportation investments, that's just takes the cake. And today we get to do all of those things. So thank you, George. And on behalf of Governor Tom Wolf, it's an honor to be in the Holmesburg section of Philadelphia this morning, along with our distinguished elected officials, PennDOT partners, and other invited guests, to celebrate the reopening of the oldest bridge still in use in the entire United States. Woo! Yeah, pretty special. This morning on the way in, I was was on a phone call with several other executives of other states, and I was bragging about where I was going. And I have to say, the other states, even they thought it was pretty cool. Not often do I get to say that we are reopening the oldest bridge still in use in the United States, so I might say it a few times. And that is this bridge, the Frankford Avenue Bridge over the Pennypack Creek. Built in 1697, this impressive stone arch bridge is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The bridge was built wide enough to accommodate horse-drawn carriages traveling the King's Highway from Philadelphia to Trenton, New York, and Boston. Some historians say George Washington and John Adams, among others, would have used this bridge. This structure means so much to the city as well as to our department, as well as to the entire Commonwealth. Today, nearly 15,000 vehicles cross this 73-foot long bridge, and this completed rehabilitation ensures that it will continue to serve the residents as well as the commuters in this area for years to come. Stone arch bridges make up a significant part of the historic fabric of southeastern Pennsylvania, a legacy that is well worth preserving, one that I strongly believe in, and so does Governor Wolf. These structures are typically located within historic landscapes and communities, and they are often central links in the transportation and settlement history of a particular area. Such is the case with the Frankford Avenue Bridge. Governor Wolf and PennDOT are committed to maintaining and rehabilitating when necessary, replacing our aging bridge infrastructure. Southeastern Pennsylvania is home to a large number of stone arch structures. In fact, 6 of the 10 oldest stone bridges in the country are located in Pennsylvania, but none nearly as old as the bridge behind me, the Frankford Avenue Bridge. She is truly a beauty. I get to talk in front of bridges often, but this one is truly remarkable. This $2.5 million investment to restore the Frankford Avenue Bridge reflects the governor's as well as PennDOT's pledge to ensure that these structural treasures remain a key part of the state transportation network. Reconstructing the oldest bridge in the country is no small task. This rehabilitation was truly a unique undertaking for the designers, the engineers, as well as the contractors. They were collectively tasked with extending the structure's service life while at the same time preserving the structural integrity and historic value of the bridge. As you can see behind me, the stone masonry work completed on the western side of the bridge illustrates the craftsmanship involved in its original construction and most recent rehabilitation. At this time, I want to personally thank the community and businesses for their patience and understanding during this road closure. We understand it was an inconvenience, but it was essential to allowing us to rebuild this bridge properly and safely, and with the attention that it deserves in history. I would also like to mention PennDOT's extensive coordination during this project with numerous stakeholders, agencies, neighboring institutions, and community groups, which helped us move this project forward together. So at this time, I'm happy to celebrate this momentous occasion for Pennsylvania's transportation network. I thank all of you for your support for this critical bridge improvement project, and it's my honor to introduce the chairman of our Senate committee here in Pennsylvania, Chairman Sabatina. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Richards. You know, it's very exciting for me to be here today, not just because it's Friday, not just because it's not 100 degrees today, and not just because my Eagles kept me up until 12:30 watching them last night. But it's important that we're finally recognizing Frankford Avenue Bridge for the awesome spectacle that it is. It's truly remarkable. It's the oldest bridge in the country. And you know, when I was in social studies class with Father Curran just up the street at Father Judge, you know, he didn't bother telling me that it was the oldest bridge in America. He didn't bother telling me that George Washington and John Adams crossed it. And he didn't tell me that it was a pathway for the dignitaries in the North to get to Philadelphia for the Continental Congress. Or maybe he didn't, I was just daydreaming, which is quite possible, but that's not the point. The point here is that we are finally recognizing Frankford Avenue Bridge for its historical significance. It was the road to Philadelphia for the colonists. And we all know what an inconvenience it was for us in the modern times to get around and to navigate the closure of this bridge. Could you imagine the use of this bridge back in colonial times with horse-drawn carriages? It's a marvel in and of itself, and it's something special to Northeast Philadelphia. A lot of people say, oh, you want to go see history, you have to go downtown, you have to go to Old City. We have history right here in Northeast Philadelphia, and thank you. And it's important to recognize it. I'm sure of many people have crossed this bridge hundreds of times not knowing what they're crossing. And so it brings me great pleasure to be here today and to honor this, the remarkable job that was performed on such a delicate project. And it's something that's going to catapult Northeast Philadelphia into the next century and beyond. So it's with my pleasure, it is, I'd like to introduce State Representative Mike Driscoll.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Boy, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Even though, Madam Secretary, your department, I just have to publicly acknowledge you and all of your staff that worked on this project. This was not easy. Restoring a historic bridge, the history behind us, was a very delicate process. And the inter-cooperation between your department and everybody that was involved, Commissioner, you on the city level, Councilman Heenan, I know the amount of phone calls you got in your office navigating this project from businesses on both sides and the importance of this. Thank you for that. Senator Sabatina, you too, in both your roles as Chairman of Transportation and also as State Senator. And of course, my colleague, State Representative Ed Nielsen. This is not only a convergence of the north side of the Pennypack Creek and the south side of the Pennypack Creek. This is also the convergence of 3 state representatives and 2 state senators. So the middle of that river there going north is Representative Nielsen. Where we're standing here, south, is Representative Boyle, and then I represent everything on the western side, or eastern side of Frankford Avenue. And then State Senator Tina Tartaglione has something in here, and Senator Sabatina, you have something in here. I'm not.
Yeah, that tree.
But I also just the significance of this bridge for commerce. I mean, in modern times here, we have businesses on both sides of this bridge that have been affected by this. And to them, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your patience. We know you were hurt by this. And we're only hoping that we make up those revenues for you in the future so that people come and get back and forth on Frankford Avenue and continue to support the businesses south and north of the Pennypack Creek. So I just can't thank you enough for the patience that you've shown us. And just so proud to have been a small part of history. And each of you standing here today are part of history. You're here on the reopening of the Frankford Bridge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The man that doesn't need any introduction, Representative Ed Nielsen.
Madam Secretary, Commissioner, Councilman, it's great to see everybody here today for this historic occasion. as Mike said, a lot of us come together here, and it took a lot of effort for this bridge to happen, and it's something we're proud of. It shows that our transportation dollars are hard at work. Like Senator Sabatina, I'm on the House Transportation Committee, and I'm also on the Fish and Game, which is very important to right here, because as a kid, I fished right under this bridge. So, pardon?
How come you don't take care of the park?
How come who don't? The city? That's something you, come on, really?
Looks beautiful.
We'll talk to you after this. How's that?
Beautiful here, Ed.
All right?
Looks great.
So we actually do invest in our roads and parks. And that's what I'm here to do, say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. But it couldn't happen without the support of the community. None of this could happen. Because if you weren't involved and you didn't support our elected officials as we go through this process, because closing a road's hard to do. Nobody wants to sit there and tell you, hey, we're going to close the road for 6 months, go around the block, go out of your way. And you don't realize how important it is until you drive down the road. Because I can't tell you how many times I came down Frankford Avenue and went, oh, the bridge. Oh, the bridge. And we didn't mention some of the partners, but SEPTA was a great partner here too. Because SEPTA coordinated with Father Judge, they coordinated with all our offices to make certain that those that were inconvenienced were able to get on the buses, because it's a route they always took to walk. Now they had to take a bus, 20-minute bus ride to get around. And they supplied the community with a lot of tokens and a lot of SEPTA passes just to make it more convenient. So I'd like to recognize SEPTA and their hard work as well. And everybody said everything about the historical stuff, so I don't have to get into that. And I'm in between cutting the ribbon. So I'm into cutting this ribbon quick and getting my feet right across there first. All right? Thank you for coming. Enjoy your weekend. And since Representative Driscoll thinks, I don't know if you noticed that, I wanted to point that out. He is on the other side of the bridge, so he should be sitting down, because I'm going to introduce my friend and my Councilman Bob Heenan.
I'll get right to the Councilman Heenan. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that Terry Devlin and my staff and Dave Wisniewski, Dave, they were handling these phone calls all the time. And with your cooperation with Gene Blum and everybody at PennDOT and Bob Kent, I just have to recognize it. Thank you so much. Councilman Heenan.
Morning, everybody, and welcome back to Kings Highway. Welcome back to the community. And, Representative Driscoll, I'm going to start off by, kind of echoing what he had just mentioned about his staff. It was a coordinated effort, all right, with not just agencies, but the community, other elected offices, my office, fielding calls. But this is a 100% funded transportation project that was well coordinated with all of the utilities and necessary partners, all right, to make sure that we have her behind us back in operation. And, when I first walked over here this morning, we got here a little bit early, and I was never so happy to see Madam Secretary of our state's PennDOT Transportation. Never been so happier in my life to see somebody who's done a fantastic and such a complex job. So, Secretary Richards, I want to thank you for your efforts and all you do, your entire crew, to make this happen. And I got to tell you, sometimes you don't, we take things for granted. But, one of the best appointments and confirmations that Governor Wolf has done and made was make sure that she was the head of our transportation. So thank you, Secretary Richards, for all that you do. Our friends in other state offices, my dear friends who I've known for 25, 30 years, Representative Nielsen, Driscoll, Sabatina, and all the other elected officials that really connect with our communities. Thank you all for making this happen, because no person is alone. All right, and everything comes to a full circle, and I'm going to say that because we have great community involvement from our Holmesburg CDC, or Holmesburg Civic Association, the Kings Highway Initiative, that really is bringing to light the remembrance and preservation of all the history of Northeast Philadelphia. Thank you. And I see someone else who joined us. all right, and who has been around for such a long time, has been an early champion of history and preservation and civic engagement, Fred Moore. Fred, thank you for being here. Our Chamber of Commerce, all our small businesses, north and south of the Kings Highway. You know, over 300 years ago, I think King Charles had it right. All right, we need a bridge. All right, and there's a reason why we need a bridge, and it's the same reason we need a bridge here today. All right, when, you know, I live on north of the bridge and I got to take my kids to Pat's Music, or we have to go to Philly Pretzels, or we need to, you know, come north to the Dining Car, or any other businesses that are along the corridor of Frankford Avenue, Route 13, or we need to cross this bridge. And we take it for granted because we just drive and go across it, or we just walk, or we use our bikes and go across it. All right, but you never know how good you have it until it's gone. All right, and we missed her. All right, and I'm so glad that she's back because it truly is the connector. All right, not just from Boston, New Jersey, New York, and south to Baltimore and so forth. All right, it's a connector. All right, for its original purpose. All right, and that purpose is connecting all our communities, connecting Holmesburg with Torresdale, connecting Holmesburg, Torresdale with Mayfair, and other neighborhoods along the commercial corridor here in Route 13, which is truly the reason why it was given the Kings Highway. All right, because it created communities along the way. It created a path for us to be united and to move product, to move commerce, and to move people. So I'm just so proud to be a part of this. I'm so happy to be just a cog in the wheel. All right, whether it's a wagon wheel, whether it's a truck wheel, whether it's a bike wheel, but a wheel of progress, all right, that 2018 has to offer with all these great elected officials and hard workers, including our streets commissioner and our district managers, Jerry Feely, who is our parks crew, did a wonderful job, just adding some support services to making sure that this project goes seamlessly. So welcome back, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this fantastic celebration.
I now welcome Streets Commissioner Carlton Williams for his remarks.
Good morning, everyone. I am extremely excited to be here today, albeit, as the Senator said, a little bit hoarse after the Eagles pulled out that dramatic victory yesterday. And it's been an exciting week, and I get to come here again on a great occasion. And so I am extremely proud to be a part of this wonderful day. As a resident of the community, I can't wait to bring my kids down here. We bike a lot in the neighborhood and the community, and ultimately, they love the work that I do at the Streets Department because I quite often frequently take them over to Area 6 Sanitation and District 6 Highway Division, which serves this area of the community. And I certainly want to thank the hard men and women at the Streets Department for the work that they do each and every day and the support that they gave for the project. Also want to thank our state representatives and City Councilman Heenan for all of the work and support, because without funding and without investment, these projects don't happen, and we can't get them back to this the way it is today, which is a very beautiful bridge. Looks like something that came out of a storybook, as I was stating earlier today. Frankford Avenue Bridge, originally constructed in 1697, is now a state-of-the-art masterpiece, thanks to the designers, engineers, and contractors. The Frankford Avenue Bridge represents local and national history because it is the oldest and continuously used bridge in the United States. Reconstructing this bridge preserves the rich history of a vital infrastructure and represents a significant investment in multimodal transportation and for the Holmesburg community. Thank you for your patience and support during this project. You've been waiting since March to see this bridge come to fruition. Its stunning aesthetics are a wonderful addition to the community. Thank you, Secretary Richards, for investing in one of our city's most valuable infrastructure, transportation. It is important that we continue to receive funding to build our city's transportation systems to reflect the safety for multimodal users, bicyclists, pedestrians, and motorists. Significant investment in our transportation systems are critical to the city's economic development and prosperity. All parties that work collaboratively to improve the bridge's functionality and safety, we want to thank you, and the result of these efforts is a more balanced and pedestrian-friendly design that serves the needs of all bridge users. Yes, you should be proud of your great work, and we thank you and congratulations again.
All right. PennDOT would also like to thank all the agencies that helped us in the completion of this bridge. The Federal Highway Administration, SEPTA, Philadelphia Streets Department, Philadelphia Parks and Rec, PICO, Water Department, the Gas Works, Verizon, a lot of agencies, a lot of coordination with a lot of different groups to do a simple little bridge like this. I'd also, well, maybe not that simple. The department would like to also recognize some of our consultant partners, especially our designer Trans Systems. Thanks to the multitude of state agencies that worked in concert with our District 6 cultural resource professional, Monica Harrower, her team of Monica, where are you? There you are. Her consultants, and also our project manager, Kristen Kapara. Being a construction guy, I'd like to thank and recognize and thank the construction team, John Waters and Scott Younger. They're here somewhere. And our consultant, Traffic Planning and Design Incorporated. Lest I forget, Loftus Construction, Kevin Loftus. Here's somewhere today. And finally, there's a little bit more alphabet soup for you, but besides all the agencies, District 6 has many people working behind the scenes. Planning, bridge, traffic, utilities, right-of-way, fiscal, all working through the design and the construction phases to get this project done. And that's it for my thanks. It's time to cut the ribbon. So if you could go back up to the street level, and we will get right to the ribbon cutting.
In terms of how they went about it, they did all the property owners they were assessed. Like they were assessed the fund finance the bridge, and they could either pay in money or labor.
We're going to cut the ribbon.
Like if anyone opens a new line of credit, they have to call it.
This, they're standing facing this way. You're good.
Yeah, we're good here. I figured the bridge is behind. I know. But you can get that shot later. This is it. Problem.
like, so they look at the bridge, put it and let them get their pictures done, and then we'll clear everybody out.
Do you want us just to line up?
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be facing this way.
Okay. So that works. Here then. Thanks. Is this someone you know? Oh, on the back end. That's beautiful.
If I jump in with you guys here.
Elbow, everybody. John,
Let me get on this side. You guys got it?
we take it all lined up and have it real quick.
This day.
It's amazing.
I'm getting too old.
You're not getting up off the road in time. Yeah.
Lift me up.
The electrifying, I think they're charging out. I'm surprised they're still here.
Where's Fred? Fred Moore! Fred! Fred Moore! Where's Loftus? Fred Moore? Somebody's dressed as Fred Moore. With the real Fred Moore, please stand up. I hope not.
We'll prop him in.
He's probably admiring Fred.
Can everyone have a little bit? Can everyone tighten up a little bit before you cut?
Together?
Yeah.
Smiles, everyone. Here we go.
Okay, I'm going to count down from 3. Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Everybody turn. We have the first vehicles across the bridge.
I'll bring him into you. I promise.
I got a bag of them right now.
I always
Okay, thank you. Yep. Thanks for asking. And the first vehicle go across the bridge. Where's the secretary? Madam Secretary, let's get in right. C4, C4.
I'm off too. It's supposed to be a quarter, right? Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's a quarter.
Stand here. Yes, we're not standing.
So just look over Chapman.